テストテスト こんばんは。8時の皆さん、私ね、今日はね、ランチ、公園で食べましたね。近くのかわいいかわいい緑のたくさんある公園で、わりかしえぐい、本当にちょっと広くて、あの、なんていうか、はびこってるって言うと変かな。でも本当にすごい緑の多い公園で、今日もめちゃめちゃいい天気で、あの、ピザ、春の旬のピザを食べながら、えっ、と、昼をのんびり過ごしました。で、すごいやけに緑の多い公園で、木の下で、ピザのオリーブ、グリーンオリーブを食べてたら、急に、なんていうか、ものすごくオリーブ噛んだ瞬間、ものすごく大自然と一体化した感じをしました。なんか、なんだろう、オリーブって実際緑だけど、存在そのものがすごい緑って感じた。旬のトッピングはパイナップルとかブロッコリーとか、あとエビとかちょっとあったんだけど、オリーブ噛んだ瞬間に緑って体中が緑のオーラ出したというか、すごい緑の気分になって、私もぐもぐ食べてる姿を外から上から見てたような、この動物が今緑を反芻してるような、ものすごく自分が動物だなって思ったんです。はい、こんばんは、まるまるです。まるまラジオへようこそ。聞こえるよね？ You can hear me, right? The microphone's working? マイクは大丈夫だよね？なんかこう、前回のミスは話したくない、認めたくない。あの、何せ私何も悪くなかったよ。私のミスじゃなかったし、あの、ちょこちょこ自分のミスがある。例えば今気づいたのは、今まだ間もなく始まるって画面があるじゃないですか。まあ誰も多分画面見てないから別にいいけど、今から、はい、切り替えました。放送中です。よかった。セーフ。セーフじゃない。放送し始めた時も間違ってたし、こういうミスぐらい、そういうポンコツぐらいは大丈夫です。私的にね、認められる、全然許される、器が大きいっていうか、私は、一日一善じゃなくて、一日一ポンコツするタイプなので、そういうのはもう、流さなくちゃとても生きられないんです。でもね、前回ね、全部設定した上で、試した上で放送した瞬間にマイクが壊れちゃったのは私が何も悪くなくて、ただただ天罰ってのことで、もう認めたくない、話したくない、もう終わりです。で、今はもう全然、順調らしい、順調みたい。だからもう話すことないでしょう。そう。で、確かに、カズマコウ先生の、さよならフォークロアっていうゆり漫画の、作家からの一言があるんじゃないですか。多分カバンめくって、すぐそこに、プロフィール欄みたいな、アナログのプロフィール欄、ビオ欄みたいなのがよくあるんじゃないですか。で、確かにさよならフォークロアで、カズマ先生は、私毎朝、あの、パンとカフェオレを飲んでから作業しますので、考えてみたらこの漫画は炭水化物でできてるんですって、すごい可愛く書かれてたんですよね。私もマジでそう。マジ同じ。マジ同じ。この番組は炭水化物でできてるし、もう私の音楽もそうですし、私のアウトプット全部炭水化物でできてると私は思う。それもあるんじゃないですか。アズマンガ大王のオープニング、空耳ケーキで、全然、あれ、歌詞が全然わけわからんけど、毎日、なんだっけ、小麦のふわふわ誘惑って、それもめっちゃ 同じです。同じ。毎日小麦ばっかり食べてるんで。で、それ、たまには今日はもうそうだったし、ベーカリーとか行って、小麦のふわふわの誘惑に負けちゃって、いろいろ買って、まあ、いろいろって言っても私は小食なので、なんかパン、まあ3個ぐらい買って、で、今日はすごい真面目に、甘いの一つだけで、セイブリーっていうか、ちゃんとした飯ってまでは言わないけど、ちゃんとした飯よりのピザとか、それ2つにして、まあそれは、あの、小麦すぎじゃないですか、普通に考えたら。でも私的にすごい普通だけど、そんな普通の中でそれいっぱい小麦食って、必ず午後はなんかちょっとクラッとするよね。なんか、あの、あれだね、血糖値とかも、それわからん、よくわからんけど、自分の体の管理全然、あの、良くも悪くも気にしてないっていうか、100%悪くもないよね。健康の面ですごいいろいろ、そっちの方がミスしてるかな、ポンコツしてる。いつもなんか、あの、なんていうか、本当に食べ物に関心がないとその気がする。自炊が嫌いだし、あの、もう何かそこにあるものを食べたら別にいいじゃんって毎日思って、毎日そこにあるものを食べてから体壊したり、メンタル壊したりするので、いや、いい加減その面でなんかこう、気を使うべきでしょうけど、もう本当に自炊がね、本当にだるくて、なんで、あの、5分、まあ、10分で食えるものを1時間ぐらいかけなきゃいけないわけって、なんか思うし、あとレシピとか従えたら、まあまあ、楽しいというか安心はできるけど、道への試みだったらさ、いっぱいミスするじゃん、いっぱいポンコツするじゃん。で、だから、こう1時間ジタバタしながら、あたふたしながら、あ、これ合ってるのかな、美味しくなるのかなって、ただただ焦ってる挙句は、そこまで美味しくない料理を、こう、スッと食べて、もう、虚しいじゃん、めっちゃ虚しい。もうちょっと料理自体、作ってる間を楽しめたらいいけど、もうなんか余裕がなくて、余裕がないし、あと普通に美味しいもの、すなわち砂糖のいっぱい入ってるものは普通そこら中に売ってるので、全然感心できない。良くない良くないね。みんなは30年代に入ってから感心できるとか言うんですけど、私はもう32歳なのに、全然全然まだです。心は32歳じゃないからかな。心はまだ17歳と言いたくないな。本当は23歳ぐらいかな。そうだね、今年で24歳だね。心はね。古本。えーっと、あれ何が言いたかった？あ、そうですね。これ、ちなみに余談。これ、先週言ったけど誰も聞こえんかったから、もう一回言う。自炊といえば。で、2回言ってるのはすごい恥ずかしいけど、あの、もう言う、決めた。皆さん、私、フランス料理がすごく好きなんですけど、大変家では作れません。自炊できない。で、そこでなんか、サウンドエフェクト、パンパカパーンとかパチパチパチとか流したいわけです。それはまだ設定してません。いや、あの、言葉、遊び。いや、普通に親父ギャグだね。もう、心は23歳とか、23歳の純粋な乙女ですとか言っても、めちゃめちゃ出され、めちゃめちゃ親父ギャグ言ってるね、私、毎日。だから、心のある部分は17歳で、心のある部分は55歳の親父かな。混乱してますね。はあ。 そうですね。で、先週も言ったんですけど、台本がすごく大事ですね。こういう時。特に今日はね、二鉄じゃないけど、2日間ろくには寝れてなくて、頭の回想がちょっとちょっと遅くなってて、まあ、いつも日本語喋るとそうなっちゃうし、もう、なんでこの番組やってるって聞くと、で、実際私は自分にすごく聞いてるんですよ。自問自問で。何のためになんでやってんの？いろいろありますよ。あの、やめたい理由もいろいろありながらも、やってみたい気持ちまだあるし、でやるべきだなと思う時もあるし、なんだろう。まずは、日本語の練習ですね。やっぱり、これは決して会話じゃないよね。あの、完全に独り言。だけど、こそういう意味では、リアル的な練習じゃないけど、じゃないけれども、逆にこう、一人で流暢に喋れたら、会話が楽ちんかなとか思うよね。なんか、こっちが一番難しいかもしれない。いや、そうじゃないかもしれないんだけど、ある意味でそう。なので、これは練習です。で、もう一つの意味を言うと、さっきのひどいダジャレみたいに、私、本当に言葉が好きなんですね。日本語だけじゃなくて、英語のも、なんか、英語の残酷さもあるんですけれど、英語でしか味わえない味もめちゃめちゃあるし、でそれは大好きです。やっぱり日本語もそうなんです。あの、どんな言語でもそうだと思いますし、これから第三言語を挑戦しようかなって、ずっと思ってるよね。多分27歳からずっと思ってるんだよね。30歳になったらエスペラントを勉強したいなって長く思ってて、ようやく30歳になったら、いや、まだまだ日本語全然ダメなんだから、まだちょっと日本語を勉強し続けて、エスペラントを後ほどと決意したんだけど、もう日本語終わんないじゃん、勉強が。一生なもんで。だって英語の単語100%クリアしてないわけ。してわけない。だから日本語もずっと一生だったら、もう次は何だろう、韓国語、エスペラント、スペイン語、その3択があって、その3択でちょっと迷っているのもあるからね。まあ、でも、つまり、そう、言葉が本当に好きで、小説とか日記もためには書くし、小説もためには書く。で、最近は超頑張って、めちゃめちゃ超頑張って、超ベリ頑張って、日本語の小説を書いてますね。実はこれは、ある意味で3年かけて書いてるんですけど、いや、それは後ほど話します。後ほど。つまり、言葉が好きで、こうしてる間に、なんだろう。一人よと喋ってると、なんか、いい言葉が見つけるかもっていう可能性はまだあるから、それ、いい言葉作りを生み出すのはあり得るので、やるべき作業です。あとは、普通に寂しい。いやいや、普通じゃない。普通じゃなく寂しい。いや、あの、これは深い哲学っていうか、もう一人カウンセリングになっちゃうんだけど、こういう番組はこういう番組なんだからね、ちょっと、あの、いつもこれについて考えると、結局、なんか異国日記の、なんていうか、触れちゃう。だからもう触れちゃいますね。私、マキオちゃんとアサちゃん、お互いすごい分かってて、みんなそうだと思うよね。ある程度。 でもこう、朝ちゃんのいわば根本的な寂しさと、マキオちゃんの根本的そうでもないさが、私には両方があって葛藤してますね、毎日。で、今日だってなんか友達が遊びに来てて、そんなになんか一緒に遊んでなくて、私は仕事してる間、彼女はただ私の漫画を借りて読んでた。なんか、でもそれだけなのに、私がなぜか疲れちゃって、すごいマキオちゃん的に疲れちゃって、なんかごめんね、なんか、ちょっと書いてとかちょっと結局言ったんだけど、帰った時から寂しくなっちゃった。寂しくなった私。なんか、いつもそうだ。なんか、人といると結局結構疲れちゃう。結構すぐ疲れちゃうし、まあ、特によくに寝れてないとそうなんだけど、人といるだけでものすごく精神が使うというか、なんですかね、脳を使うし、なんだろう、情報量が上がっちゃうじゃん。必然的に。もう一人いると。一人でいると、まあ、環境によるけど、結構情報量は、マネージできるけど、もう一人、さらにいっぱい人がいると、特にひどいじゃん。で、自分でコントロールできないし。で、なんだろう、そうそう。だからめっちゃ人が実は結構好きですし、つながりたい気持ちもめちゃめちゃあるけど、実際どういう環境によるとか、どういう接し方によって一番楽に人とつながれるかどうかは、まだ全然、あの、暗中模索ですね。わからへん。わかりたいです。だからこういうシグナルを指針をこうやって放送することによって、誰にも届いてない可能性はめちゃめちゃあるし、で、今、なんやろう、4人を聞いてるらしくて、それを合ってるどうかはちょっとわかんないけど、まあ、その世の中に、なんだろう、同じような人間とつながりたいので、まずは何かシグナルを放送しなくちゃいけないじゃん。で、直接がちょっと無理で疲れちゃうのなら、こうやって間接的に誰かとつながりたいんです。なぜなら、なぜなら、いろいろ言えるんですけど、なんやろ、自分は所詮一匹狼とか、つながれないとか、さざまいじゃん。つながりたいけどつながれないとか、あとは、こう、指針を放送する権利がないっていうか、自虐的な思考回路が私に結構強くて、あの、この番組でめちゃめちゃどうでもいいことを話すと思うんで、オリーブの話とか、完全にどうでもいいじゃん。ただただ、あの、そういうどうでもいいことを話しながら、なんか工夫して面白くできるのかなって挑戦もあるし、あと普通に自分にも、誰にでもそうなんですけど、自分にもどうでもいいことを言う権利があるって最近気づいたというか決めたというか、私はいつもなんかどうでもいいことを言わないでって、自己検閲してる、なんか日頃自己検閲が結構激しい。でも、どうでもいいことは誰の基準によってどうでもいいとかわかんないじゃん。誰かが私の先どうでもいいって自分でも思ってるオリーブの話が面白いって言ってくれるかもしれないし、逆に、めちゃめちゃ私もオリーブを噛むとすごい自然と一体化するような気がしますねってなぜか共感してくれるかもしれない。かもしれない。じゃないと思うんだけど、かもしれない。その可能性は美しいじゃないですか。だからね、この番組を頑張って継続しようとちょっと思ってます。 今回は長く一気に喋っちゃったね。ちょっとね、音楽流します。先週流したかったけど、データがなぜかなかった。パソコンになかったけど、ゲットしました。これはね、リー・サリバン。私の相棒、相棒って言ってるも、全然結婚してないです。そういうじゃない。でも、今年で14年間の付き合いの友達で、で、多分、それぐらいの音楽一緒にやってるんで、あの、リー君は来週からなんと来日して、ツアーしに来ますので、私もドラム担当でツアーに行ってくるわ。めちゃめちゃ楽しみ。あさっても最後の個人ドラム練習で、精一杯、3時間精一杯叩くぜ。で、皆さん来てほしいです。インスタとか Twitter で情報を流してるのでチェックしてくださいね。日本にいるならぜひぜひ来てほしいな。で、これはまあ広告と思って流すんですけど、一昨年だったよね。一緒に出したアルバム、私はプロデューサーとして、あとベースとか、まあいろんな楽器弾いてるんですよね。この曲でピアノとベースかなを弾いてるんですね。アルバム Separation Anxiety で、私のやっぱり一番好きな曲 In Shame 恥を知れみたいな題名なんですけど、これはやっぱりまあ、単純に美しい曲と私は思うんで、皆さん聞いてね。で、また後で話しますね。
This time will stay with you, yes you will be living with it. Did you think of what you knew would lead into a feud and still begin it? You're waking up to find that where your secrets lie is in your voice and every step you leave behind. But you said too much, too little, too late. Now you lost her touch and she went away to her sister's place. She's gonna stay a while. But if you could see just how it's been in your family, I'd like to think it would keep you out of the mistakes you made. I had it done to me. You're my friend, but I just can't agree with the way you've been. Well, there's something you must understand, that sorry doesn't end the pain. Yeah, you gotta learn to live in shame sometimes. A silence now begins to drip into your day. An emptiness you seem to rest printed on your face. You're talking to yourself more than you were before, but I think you'll survive this. You've just gotta face it without a crutch. I know you're afraid now you lost her touch, and she went away to her sister's place. She's gonna stay a while.
いやー、懐かしい。っていうか、やっぱりいい曲ですね。作曲の面でね。このアルバムとか、リリースしてから全然聞き返してない。全然、なんか怖いっていうか、怖い。あれ、ループしてるね。怖いね。まるまるもそうなんだけど、なんか、こう、リリースしてから、もちろんなんだけど、いろいろいじれられないですね。なんか、もう完成してしまったっていうか、いろいろちょっとだけいじって、このミックスはちょっとやっぱりベースをもうちょっとアップとかダウンとか、パンとか、いろいろなんか変えたくなるじゃん。で、特にリリースしてからだいたい、去年、なんだかんだプロデュースの面でいろいろ分かっちゃった気がする。今年で出した The Way Out っていうシングルとかで、なんかちょっとより一層良くなったなって、我ながら思ってるんで、そうでもないかもしれないんだけど、私は思ってるんで、だからなんか恥ずかしい自分の昔のプロデュースした曲とかを聞き出すとなんか聞き返すと、これすればよかったなって、そればかり考えるなんですけど、なぜか、In Shame 曲だけは、いや、結構上出来じゃん。なんか満足、好き。よかったな。よかった。もうそろそろ日本語枠終わっちゃいますね。いろいろなんか喋りたいことまだ全然実はある。ストックがあるといいことだよね。でも、すごいね。全然体温は従えられないタイプなんですね。いろいろ話したいというか、自分でもわかんないけど、わかんないからこそ話してみたいとか、例えば自分のキャラ、喋ってるキャラとか、すごい変わるんだよね。変わるんですよね。とか、なんかそう、語尾とかね、もう、多分第二言語の、なんていうか、喋り方として、なんだろう。いやいや、これは次回長く話しますね。あと気づいたんですけど、ゆりマグの話全然してないじゃん。全然ゆりの話してない。今、関西弁も全然喋れてないことも結構がっかりなんですけど、私日々関西弁なんやろ、頑張ってるっていうか、尊敬する。いや、可愛いから自分でも話したいなと思うけど、それはちゃうかな。なんかたまにはこれです。で、その中、街の上でっていうインディーズの 日本のインディーズ Over the Town で英語の題名なんですけど、で、町座で見てて、すごい面白かったんですけど、そこに出てくるジョージョ・イハさんっていうキャラが、あの子の関西弁が欲しい。マジで美しい。女優さんもめっちゃ可愛いんだけど、そんなことを、これはルッキズムだからね、それをそっと置いて、あの子の喋る関西弁は素晴らしすぎて、本当に可愛い。本当に可愛くて、関西弁自体がもう惹かれますね。で、それ聞いてると、やっぱり自分もこんな感じで喋れたら、自分も可愛くなるかな。そういう発想なのかな。なんで惹かれるんですかね。そういう葛藤があるんじゃないですか。これが好きだからそうなりたいとか、これが好きだからそれあってほしいだけとかよくわからないっすね。わかんない。一生わかんないかもしれない。まあ、でも少なくともさ、実は、年ごと、喋り方が最近変わりすぎてて、全然安定してなくて、安定してへんくて、ね、これはどういう意味ですかねみたいな、いや、マジでなんやろただただ日本語が不安定で、ですか、だか、いやか、全然頭の中でごちゃごちゃになっちゃって、決められないだけかもしれないんだけど、まあそういう話は次回にしますね。キャラについて。あと全然、マルマルーっていうキャラ、黒歴史なんですけど、マルマルーっていうキャラについてちょっと喋りたいんですけど、それは次回の話にしますね。今回はこの辺で、なんだっけ、この曲流すね、いつも最後で。この辺にします。で、しばらくしてから、英語に切り替えます。わお天才や。いやいや、実は毎日焦ってるよ。本当に大変なことですよ。もう勘弁してけど、自分で自情自爆なんですけど、完全に。じゃあ最後にこれ言っとくね。最後にこれや。さっきね、多分1時間前ぐらい、すんごい久しぶりにネゴとのアシンメトリーっていう神曲を聞き返したらさ、音源が消えちゃったから YouTube で MV 見ちゃったんだけど、あの MV ってプロジェクトヘイルメリーとめっちゃ被ってなくない？じゃない、被ってない？めっちゃ被ってない？俺日本語がダメになってる。でも本当そうなんですよ。宇宙って感じなんだろう。いや、めっちゃ被ってると思う。なぜかわかんないけど、パクられたかな？みんな見てて。私、でたらめ言ってないよ。本当ですよ。それでは丸々おしまいで、おしまいです。ちょっと英語に切り替えるので、ほな、また。 What's up? I had the thought of making not like a catchphrase, but like I guess it is a catchphrase. I wanted to start every episode with like a little, it's like a set cold like the cold open itself would vary obviously, but at least for the Japanese one, I wanted to be. I had the thought of being like. More or less like, hey everybody, it's 8 o'clock and I'm something, like a cute little, I don't know. Is that good? Is it worth pursuing? I don't know. Again, this is stuff I keep meaning to talk about on on the show and not finding time to because I get so sidetracked by random things. But I don't really understand what my character is a lot of the time, and that's fine because the idea of having a character is really silly, as we discussed in the seminal text of this show, Ikoku Nikki, Journal with Witch, which I hope we all watch the anime. I kind of do and I kind of don't, because the manga is superior and the anime does not go to the end. It stops at volume 8, which is a ridiculous place to stop, but it was a very good adaptation up until then. Wow, isn't it crazy to think that I lose my train of thought sometimes in the show, because I'm just clearly talking in a straight line all of the time. My character in Japanese changes a lot, and by which I mean like my manner of speech, because I think just because I'm panicking a lot, basically. Like, I mean, I'm panicking in English all the time, but I feel like I still I just babble, but I'm babbling with a consistent tone of voice, shall we say? So in Japanese, I mean, there's just different ways of conjugating things. Like, do you end a sentence in des or da or ya or whatever? And it gets really jumbled. It's kind of fun to watch it get jumbled as well, though, in a kind of like out of body way. What the hell was I saying before? Oh, streamer show. Yes. Streamer intro. Hey, Brian, thank you for making it out, by the way. Are you awake at some unreasonable time of the morning or night? I don't know. Slay, either way. So the thing about streaming is you have to think of really arguably entertaining things to say, and nobody is around to really vet whether they're entertaining or not, except in real time. So this is that. I was at a cafe the other day, and it was just me and a family of French people, and the owner, and no store music, which fucking rules if you're me and you hate all sensory input in the world, especially at least during daylight hours. It was amazing. It's funny how there's like a feedback loop that happens where, like, because it's quiet, it's just like the sound of the dude cooking your lunch. Like, even the family just couldn't bring themselves to talk in a loud tone of voice and like break the silence, so they were whispering, and I was just like sitting there reading a manga, so I was not making any sound. It was just so quiet. Wow. Anyway, so the French guys get up to pay and leave, and the owner is a real sweet guy, speaks to them in English and goes, "Hey, where are you from?" And they say, "France." It's 5 a.m. Jesus Christ, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, they say, "We're from France, we're from the south of France," and I forget which bit. And he goes, "Oh, you must have some really great local cuisine there." And the French guy, the dad, goes, this is actually we don't have much growing in the area, so most of the regional specialties are duck. But, and this is where I get to shine. I have spent most of my time in the last year and a half of my time in my share house in Sydney. My housemate Anne and I have spent basically every day doing accents. So, and I like to, she's way better at it than me, and I like to think that she's provided enough feedback for me to sort of hone my French accent at least a little bit. So this guy, he says, "Most of the cuisine in the area." No, I'm fucking up. The cuisine, the local cuisine, it is mostly based on duck. I got the key word there is duck, and I got that. I nailed that. So he says this, and the owner of the store kind of like visibly, like, I think he actually took a step back. I think he was literally taken aback. And he goes, dog, to clarify. Yes, may, depending on your ear and his ear, in fact, you may hear a French person saying duck as the English word dog. And I'm 99.9% certain that that's what happened. And I'm 99.9% sure that when asking for clarification, the French guy did not understand what was happening. So Even though the owner was like, "You eat dog?" He was like, "Yes, we eat duck." And then just like moved on with the conversation. And I, even after the French people left, I sat there for a second. I was like, should I tell him what that was and like assuage his worries that there's a town in the south of France where the local specialty is dog? And I did not. I thought, there is like the 0.01% chance that I hallucinated all of this. That he was, for some reason, very surprised that they eat duck in France. Yeah, get fucked. No, he thinks they eat dogs now. And I realized as I was thinking about this right before the show, I don't believe in astronomy. I don't believe in the Myers-Briggs test particularly, although I had a recent moment where my housemate Georgia diagnosed me correctly and with my type, and I was kind of impressed, and I thought, okay, maybe there's something to it. But anyway, what I do put my faith in and what I continue to diagnose myself as is chaotic good and disaster lesbian. These two things are quite integral to my identity. CGDL. And I think, yeah, I feel like a little pat myself on the back moment of like, I'm enacting chaotic good. I'm making the world a more interesting place. Speaking of disaster lesbians, there's actually I have like a little through line coming here. How nice is that? I would just like to mention that this week, May 1st is coming up. Obviously, we're all speaking from different time zones right now, but May 1st will come. And it is the happiest day of the year. It's Kase Tomoka's birthday. It's also Ichi Yui's birthday, lest we forget. She was the original waifu for me, and I still light a candle, sometimes literally, mostly metaphorically, every year for Ichi Yui from Yu Yu Shiki. But as we all know, Kase Tomoka from the Kase-san series, I think I recently said to somebody, Kase Tomoka changed my life. And I guess it takes a lot of thought to really consider what does it mean for a character or a series to change your life. It's not very apparent all of the time, but I think she kind of earns it. Yeah, I think she kind of changed my life, and I think that's hilarious. I love that fucking idiot. I have volume 5 of Yamada and Kase-san in my house with me right now, and I'm not touching it. It's sitting there, still in the plastic wrapping, because I recently reread the original 5 Kase-san series. 10 out of 10, fucking love it, changed my life, I cry every time, and I kind of want to go home and reread the university series as well. But oh my god, I'm like 2 years behind the rest of the world because of this, because, all you people reading the pirated cotton scanlations, and I say that with no judgment because I initially read this series in scanlation. I was also miles ahead of the publishing, people who read the tankobons, because these things take fucking forever to come out. When did 4 come out? It was like the last time I was in Japan, I think. So like a year and a half ago, if that, if not more. Oh my god. Yes, long have I waited, and now I'm making myself wait even more, and I deserve a little treat. Anyways, the through line continues. Anime girls, I model myself around. Again, I guess there is a through line of what is my character. I mean, I understand that I am me, Marumaru, who is Avery, and that this is a character that I am constantly creating, and that I also don't need to worry about it in terms of it being a character. But I think because of the way that my brain works, and let's not get into that, but because of the way that my brain works, I pass these things a lot easier through the construct of anime girls, and sometimes even real life ones. But I'm turning into a different one lately. I mean, I'm a composite image, we know that. You know what's also funny is a real quick digression is, thank you, how much, can I hold this thought in my hand and get back to it? Yes. How much I wrote about this exact topic in my seminal work of My Little Pony fanfiction Sundowner season back in 2014 to 15. It's weird. It was like all this shit I hadn't actually gone through, but I just knew that I would apparently, or like I was like, oh, that's really interesting, and I wrote this stuff about, I don't know, existentialist philosophy that I was kind of reading at the time, but like hadn't really fully experienced. And then I had a fucking mental breakdown and went through all of it, and then years later read it again, and I was like, wait a second, I just like predicted my exact flavor of existential crisis. That's awesome. What am I going to predict next in my life? I'm writing a doomed Yuri short story at the moment in Japanese, and I think I might also fuck around and translate it into English and publish that. So doomed Yuri there, and I am bringing this back to the original thought. Amazing. I'm not even medicated today. Look at me go. And I'm writing a Tamayura fanfiction, and I'm saying this on radio. I've said this before. I am already being held accountable, but I'm holding myself accountable in this moment now because I haven't touched it for months, and I feel very bad. I've been thinking about Tamayura a lot lately, and can you guys please watch it already? Please, somebody in my life, watch Tamayura. It's so fucking cute, and I want it out there in the world. As much as I am, as I mentioned last week, aggressively possessive of the things that I love, there is also a spark in me that wants to share them. I might go to a fan event for this thing later in the year. I don't know. I noticed I talked about the death-defying princess creates a Yuri harem to survive last week, which I have 8 pages left of volume 2 to do, and my goodness, the amount of titties in this thing. And after that, after talking about it, I noticed, Nat started reading the scanlations, and Vi, you put it on your plan to read list. I'm affecting real change here. I am the future. So when I say watch Tamayura, it starts with an OVA, and then there's 2 seasons, and then season 3 is 4 movies. It's not too much to be overwhelming. It's a great amount. You'll pace it out. You'll be satisfied. You'll have something to come back to chew on for like a year if you pace it out correctly. Do it. It's great. It'll make you a better person. I really think it did make me a better person. I think I haven't fully internalized all of its lessons. And again, I learn and forget constantly all the important lessons of life. And I think Tamayura is like a show that deals with that exact phenomenon as much as it also provides like an incredible amount of comfort. It's also one of the main themes of the show is like, this will pass, like this too will pass, you'll forget this. Absolutely, you'll forget this. And that's why photography is so important. Because you will still forget, but you can keep something. You can keep some mementos of every moment that has died. I have been taking photos again. I've been back photography girl mode. I don't really take many film photos when I'm in Australia because I don't really like Australia. This is an established fact. Let's not, dwell on that. But when I'm in Japan, I mean, like, look, let's be generous. There are things that I like about Australia, but what I love about nature is not particularly present in Australia, or at least within walking distance of where I live. There is one very cute community garden near my parents' place, but you could only take so many pictures of the cute community garden before a girly longs for the wider world. But anyway, I've been taking pictures like crazy while I'm here. It was Sakura season, and I got duped once again by the stupid fucking cherry blossoms into taking pictures of the stupid fucking cherry blossoms like every fucking idiot with a camera does, even though the beauty of a cherry blossom cannot be photographed. There is beauty in this world that cannot be photographed. Linda has told us this, and yet we try every year like frickin' fools. We repeat the insanity. I got some good pics there. I'm not gonna stick too hard to this claim, but for my money's worth, I think plum blossoms are actually more photogenic than cherry blossoms. Maybe I just haven't figured out how to shoot cherry blossoms, but I have figured out plum blossoms, and they're very beautiful and they smell wonderful. Anyway, so I've been taking lots of pictures of trees, obviously, but I've been taking lots of pictures of the sky, just the sky, like clouds. Often not even with a frame of reference. Like, sometimes today I took some pictures of like rooftops with the sky, and that's cute, but like it's just the sky, and sunsets and clouds and vapor trails. And it's hard to say where the feedback loop of this begins. Is it chicken and egg thing? But one of the central characters, or I guess main supporting character of Tamayura, she's in the opening, Shihomi Riho, who is the main character, who's like, I guess senpai, but like her role model for photography. Her first body of work and her first like photo book, Sora, is all pictures of the sky. And I'm turning into her, and it's weird because I'm writing a story about her as well. Like, again, I haven't touched it for months, but when I was sort of like, doing prep for this fic, kind of like reminding myself, who were these characters, and like, how would you describe them, and what voice should you be writing them in? And I mean, I end up ultimately always coming back with all the Yuri that I write to like a duality, which is that they're both me. And basically one's the ADHD and one's the autism. Or, sometimes it's like one is the me I want to be, and one is the me that I am. But anyway, all the characters are me. I only write my own voice, and it's terrible, and I'm trying to fix it. But she's like, I could so easily glom my own character into her, and her onto my own character. And then I started taking pictures of the sky completely naturally. And then the thought occurred of like, oh, I'm doing the Riho thing. And then I was like, this is kind of funny. Let's pretend that I'm her. And now I just am staring into the sketch. I like try to keep it as close to the source material as possible, even if it ends up like derailing my own story. I'm like doing this thing where I'm trying to ship Riho and Chimo, and I'm like basically on the fence about whether or not I'm going to let them get together or not because of something that happens in the show. And I like spent a year basically being like, well, no spoilers, but I'm like, well, they can't get together because of a thing that happens in the show. And then it occurred to me a couple months ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, the whole point of fan fiction is to write a thing that doesn't happen in the show. You can do anything. Yes, no, I saw that. It was not on your end. Thank you for catching that, Brian. I also dropped out for a second there, but we're back. It's cool. Don't worry. I was just talking about writing lesbian fic. Do I want the girls to be happy or not? Yes and no. Yes and no. Anyway, I'm going to play a song. And which one am I going to do? I'm going to do the post-hardcore. Yeah. Yes. We're going to rock out a little bit. We're going to get a little bit like vroom. We're going to get a little bit loud. I played Lee Sullivan's softest song, one of his softest songs on the Japanese side of this. So let's get fucking rough. Let's get fucking ready. This is by a band called Yukue, who I believe disbanded about a week after I found this EP and got really into it, because that's the curse that I carry. I have done this to a couple of groups now, I think. Amina being one of them, Yanakoto Sotomuto being another one of them. And Maison Book Girl. Every time I get into a band, they fucking disband. Anyway, these guys aren't idols, at least. They are associated with the Ungulates label, who are based out of Tokyo, and just have some really fucking good emo going for them right now. I got into them through As a Sketchpad, who are like actually American emos living in Koenji. And hey, I hope to see you guys next week. Anyway, this song is called Railroad. It's by Yukue, and it's up on Bandcamp. And it fucking rocks. Let's rock out together.
「
Maji saiko! It's so good. It's so good. I just lose my shit a little bit there. I almost didn't stop the song in time and turn the microphone on. Yeah, oh my god, the little bit where it comes back in with the melody. It's so good. And wow, I wish I hadn't killed that band by expressing interest in their artistic output. Whatever. The saturation on vocals, I've realized, I like to think that I've kind of leveled up my production game a little bit in the last year, and it kind of sucks to realize that I just needed to put a saturator on a lot of things. Kind of just basic shit. Well, better late than never. Just as a little, I'm gonna wrap this up shortly, but as a little bit of secret breaking news, I guess. And I have something to ask you guys as well, I think. So I've been jamming, so to speak, with my friend Helen over the last year or so, basically, on and off. When did we start? I can't remember. Anyway, we've had a couple of just like basically Ableton jam sessions. As you can imagine, an Ableton jam session is not anywhere near as jammy as an actual jam session with instruments. I famously don't like jamming, or I don't understand jamming, or maybe I have a little bit of a traumatic experience being the bassist and being somebody who doesn't smoke weed and being in a band with people who smoke weed and play guitar and want to jam. And love you all, and I won't be such a wet blanket again in future. But I'm definitely, I don't jam. I don't jam well with jamming. But Ableton jamming is like we bring in beats to each other and are like, hey, what do you think of this? And then we just like hash out some bass music. We both are producers of, I'd say she does more like, definitely some like D&B lately, but also some more like soul kind of like electronic stuff in the past. And I obviously, I'm me. But we both love bass music, and so we've been kind of doing this like ridiculous footworky, chop heavy, one thing that's just like full on the floor tech house. I don't know, some electronic music, and we are talking about putting it out soon. We don't have that much, but we properly finished, I think, our first song, and we've been struggling to get a band name this whole time. I think my initial suggestion, we had Teen Weed. We had one great band name that was lost to time. We both forgot to write it down. Leadspeak. I still stand by Leadspeak as I think a really good name. Chris. I think Chris is a great band name. Bitcoin Boyfriend. I think that's a great song name, not a band name. And so keep this on the hush hush. But just literally in the last 3 days, came up with the greatest band name ever, which is, I can't say it without laughing, Dot Flack. Maybe I'm doing the 2 a.m. tension thing, I don't know, but I think it's going to be that. But we can't figure out how to stylize it. And Helen was like, I want to write it like literally like period, FLAC, lowercase. And I think that's really good, but if you write it out in a file name the way that I would, like when I file my music, obviously just like artist name dash song name, you get an error because you're not allowed to start a file with a dot. So we're working through that at the moment. I think my money's kind of on like all caps right now. But anyway, yeah, there's some music coming out for me later this year at some point. That's definitely not my usual fare. And I hope that you will look forward to it. I have one remix that is completed that will be coming out whenever the artist is ready to put it out. And I don't know when that is, but hopefully soon, because I gotta say, I mean, the original song is fucking lit, but and my remix is fucking lit. I was tossed a great ball and I had a great time running with it. It's like the most rusty style, like Rustie, the producer, beat that I've done in literally like a decade. If anybody remembers my Constellations remix, it's like the touchstone is like it's like that vibe, but like produced like 6 times better. Just six, only six, but a whole 6 times better. Is that I'm working on another remix at the moment for a friend. Dot Flack has some stuff coming out, and there is still, I mentioned this a little while ago, it has yet to surface, but it probably will next month, a Dr. Spaceman song with me on songwriting and lead vocal duties and guitar. Wow. Very, very rare. I have been writing a little bit more for Dr. Spaceman, and it's been getting kind of emo and a little bit mathy. I've never been like I love math rock. I just, in my writing, have never been hugely like time signature change heavy or anything. So when I say it's the mathiest stuff I've ever written, it's not that mathy, but like it's pretty math for me. So that's all cool. So I feel like in this way, I have achieved I am achieving, possibly, the emo band, at least when I'm on the guitar duties, the emo band that I've always wanted in Dr. Spaceman. For briefly, we had transformed into the emo band that I've long wanted. And with Helen, with Dot Flack, we have the bass music band that I've always wanted. Now, the real trick, and here's the work of my lifetime, is making a combination of the two. I remember having this thought, like, years ago. I was like, emo guitar and like math rock guitar, I guess, but especially emo, or that liminal space between, is really prime for sampling, for footwork, or like I reckon emo heavy footwork is gonna be the future. And I set this as a goal for myself, and it's been like 6 years and I still haven't done it. I think maybe the closest thing, that's not even close at all, is it? Human Voices on the, I feel like that was maybe like the premonition, as Human Voices on the Daiku Industries Astronomy Club EP. I was like, yes, this like emo guitar from what is that sampling? Wait, what is that sampling? Holy shit, I've forgotten what emo guitar that is. Is it my Chem? I think it might be. I can't remember if it's The Ghost of You or no, I think it's like a Fuji Fabric B-side or something that just happens to sound like The Ghost of You. Wow, I have to go and open up my project files and figure out what that was. If any fucking nerds out there with an encyclopedic knowledge of my discography, I know there's at least 3 of you, can tell me what it is that I sampled. You know what, in the back half, like after the weird dropout, and it comes back in, and there's that cute guitar line. Somebody please remind me what that is. Anyway, but imagine the drums are like double time. Imagine it's a fucking DJ clap, like DJ PayPal, frenetic footwork, fuckfest to alliterate. But all of the samples are just like emo guitars, and then maybe it chops every now and then of like a scream. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it eventually. I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to do it alone, guys. I don't want to do any of this alone. It really is a blessing to have a band. I say this as somebody who literally right before starting this broadcast, I opened up one of the ancient texts, indeed, the ancient incomplete texts, of which I have many. We all know this. We all probably have many ourselves, but I haven't talked about this. It's not worth talking about, but I mean, people know that I think it's public knowledge that I went through this little phase of writing like Nemui ice cream songs where I pretended that I was going to start an idol project, and so I ended up writing this like kind of pop stuff, like poppy electronic songs, and then not becoming an idol, or not, yeah, crazy how that didn't happen. A lot of those I managed to transform into real songs. Like 3 of them or so ended up being on the last album this time next year. But at some point, probably 2019, I kind of wrote like the best chorus ever. but like half of the best chorus ever. So I will say, yeah, definitively, it will be the best song ever written by a human being. It will be, or it can be, but I wrote like 35 seconds of the best song ever. And then I had no idea where to take it. And I just like, oh, it's one of those projects I open up once, twice a year and go, wow, this is actually the best song ever. And humanity needs to hear it. If only it had at least another minute and a half to justify its existence, because it makes no fucking sense by itself. And I just can't. I don't know what it is. I opened it up like last week, and I think I maybe put like an extra 20 seconds in now. I just listened to a lot of Former Hero, and I was like, oh right, I should be doing this. This is how a lot of my process works, is I listen to a lot of an artist and go, oh, I'm going to try to do that. And then at some point I go wildly astray, and that's where apparently originality happens. You fuck up copying. That's all it is. So yeah, I found a good touchstone, a good point of reference in Former Hero, who fucking rips. My God, I've just been listening to nothing but him for the last year. But I hate melodies, and I don't mind singing with my own voice if it's the right thing, but I don't sing pop. I'm not a pop singer, and I never have been. I talked about this last week. And I'm looking. I need to find her. I need to find or them or him. I don't know, whoever it is. But I gotta find him. And they gotta join my band, and we gotta write the best pop song ever. God damn it. We're gonna do it. I swear to God. Anyways. Oh, what's that? I hear something. Oh no, it's the outro music fading slowly up. Yeah. We are arriving at time. I'm not gonna go too late. Wow, did I not talk about Yuri manga at all today? I mean, I talked about anime shit for sure. I talked about Kasei-san. Yeah. Phew. For a second there, I was like, what, not at all? The crazy thing is I haven't talked about it at all in the Japanese side of things. Like, literally. Like, I just have not geeked out in the same way. Do I have any recommendations? What have I been reading lately? Oh, I just bought a whole bunch of manga. But you know what? It's not new. Like I bought the volumes of Hoseki no Kuni that I lost when I lost all of my volumes. Did I ever tell you guys about that? When I shipped all of my manga back from Japan to Australia, the undertaking of a lifetime. It took 2 weeks because I sent it by sea. It took 2 months, sorry. It took ages because I sent it by sea. The box finally arrives. Thank God, I've been wanting to reread some of this manga for ages. I opened it up, Hoseki no Kuni is gone. Just Hoseki no Kuni as well. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was in a fit when I was packing everything for various reasons. There was so much to pack and I had time constraints. I'm sure it just got lost by the wayside or something, but then I asked my friends who lived at the share house that I was keeping it at, and they didn't know what happened to it. It wasn't there. Did somebody, at some point in the shipping process, steal my Hoseki no Kuni manga? I don't know. But I spent the last 3 years slowly buying it back, and now I finally have all the volumes, and I can revisit the trauma at last. I don't know. I mean, it is. I picked it up. I picked up volume 7 on a whim today, and just leafed through it, and was like, oh God, this makes me feel so bad. But I also picked up volume 5 the other day at the cafe and leafed through it, and I was like, this makes me want to make music so much. I swear to God, I will. Call in the shot, I will make a Hoseki no Kuni themed release, EP, album, I don't know, but there will be a release of some kind. There's already like 2 songs that are basically, in my mind anyway, an alternate soundtrack to the anime. How much time is this idiot spending on the outro? To paraphrase Aubrey Drake Graham once more, as I am so prone to doing. Well, we have much to discuss next week. I will stock up on Yuri manga recommendations. I think it's going to be Shodai Teki ni Shinzakure, and I'm going to tell you more about that next week. Brian, if you want to wake up at 5 o'clock again, you're insane, and I don't know why you would do that. These are archived, and you can listen to them at a reasonable time. Sleep is so important, my friend. Let me tell you, as somebody who does not get anywhere near enough of it. Well, this has been me, Marumaru. I'm gonna go do some yoga. My neighbor's gonna teach me some yoga. We're gonna wind down for the evening together. So that's nice. And you're just gonna listen to the outro of Helpful Cuppa. And I won't see you next week. I'm going on tour. I won't see you next week at all. Or the week after, probably. Stay tuned. I will let you know. I'm gonna be fucking exhausted. But I really will endeavor to do this again. It's fun. Despite myself, I actually do enjoy this a lot. All right, see you later. See you laters, fuckers. See you fuckers later. Love you all. Thank you for coming out. Get some sleep now.